everyone, and welcome to today's reading. We're going to be doing a full moon reading today since in the present day we have a full moon coming up. For me, it will be Wednesday, so that's 2 days from when I'm making this. But for you, it could have already happened or is happening right now. Or you could even be from the future watching this. That's awesome. Hey. This reading, we're going to be asking what cycle is completing this full moon? What blessing is being brought in by the full moon? What do I need to work on by the next full moon, and any advice? I have 4 piles for you to choose from, and each one will be represented by a different stone. This first pile will be opalite. Pile number 2 will be this little selenite bead. Pile number 3 will be this rainbow moonstone. Beautiful. Pile number 4 will be this ruby fuchsite. So go ahead and take your time, assess the pile, see what's calling out to you, and I will see you in the timestamp you choose below. Pile 1, if you chose the opalite stone, then this is your reading. I decided to lay out all the cards today so we can see exactly what we're working with overall. For your question of what cycle is completing this full moon, you got the Justice card. So a resolution is being found. A reckoning is being had. I think you're seeing something is being seen from your point of view. The Justice card is also about balance. So there is a balance coming to a situation. This could be a legal battle. This could just be an argument you've been having with somebody. Just a situation you're going through. There's going to be balance within it. For the blessing coming to you, you got 2 of Cups, which, as you can see, those 2 cups are equally distributed. There's balance there. There's equality. And this could be a partnership. Maybe someone you have been waiting for to come in has now gotten to the point where they're able to come in and be there for you. Joining you in a partnership and union. Maybe someone's coming home that's been gone for a while, working long distance or something, you know. For what you need to work on by the next full moon, and by this I mean in this next 21-day cycle, this could be you needing to work on your own judgment, how you weigh things. Maybe you have let your feelings get in the way of the actual truth of a matter before, and so you've been like, oh, you know, it's okay that you stomped all over my heart, I'll survive, you know. But with the moon card here, it's like maybe you do need to speak your true feelings, be honest with how you really feel, and don't keep it bottled up and hiding it and buried deep down. Obviously there's a big depth like the ocean, as you can see, and you really can't keep it bottled up. It's going to come out one way or another. And also with the Judgment card, this could be a call for you to listen to your higher calling. Maybe there's something that you've been perseverating on over in the past and you're having a hard time forgiving yourself. It could just be the way that you were, something you did, a decision you made, and it's time to maybe, like I said, unbottle it, pour out those emotions, and forgive yourself and move on, you know? Maybe this Justice card is you being at peace with yourself and, you know, announcing it's okay, right? For 8 of Pentacles, what you need to work on is perhaps patience, allowing your fruits of your labor to be ready when they're ready, to grow as they need to. Nourish them every step of the way. Nourish yourself if this is you, if your project is yourself and becoming this healthy, whole, beautiful, wonderful version of yourself. You need to give yourself some grace here and be patient, because with 8 of Pentacles, things are on their way. But it's just a waiting game now where you're like, when is it ready? When will I get my promotion? When will they ask me out? When will I finally get my time to shine? And it's coming. You just need to maybe exercise some patience, and this could even show up by the next full moon cycle. You just have to wait it out a little bit. You just put in your same effort. The Eight of Pentacles is also about just like steady, consistent effort, right? When you have a plant, you need to water it on time. You need to prune it on time. If there's bugs, you need to get rid of them. It's all about consistency and, like I said, daily nourishment. Small things, little baby steps, small details, and then it'll grow into that huge crop that you can harvest later and make use of. And then with the Nine of Wands, I have to enunciate a little bit sometimes here. You are probably someone who has been working at something for a long time, and maybe that is the truth of the Eight of Pentacles for you. Maybe with the moon, oh my God, I've been working so hard, people don't even realize how much effort I put in because I hide so much and bottle it up and keep it inside. Well, here, as your tarot reader, I'm telling you, I can see you. I see you're exhausted. I see you've been working really hard. You've been hurt. You've been stressed. Maybe you've had a lot of lost battles in the past. There might be some things that you need to heal and work on before you can really move forward and get that Two of Cups. But yeah, with that Nine of Wands, maybe you have been defensive and closed off because of so much hardship, right? You've been working really hard without much reward or without a lot of acknowledgement, and you need to heal. And it's difficult to heal, especially when life always is throwing new things at us, but you need to take this time to heal, because being, closed off, distant, keeping yourself from the world, right, might protect you from getting hurt, but it's also going to close you off from receiving amazing things like the Two of Cups, like justice. So be patient, because those Eight of Pentacles are going to be a wonderful crop, a wonderful harvest for you. You just have to hold out a little bit more faith. I'm going to try to lean you guys down so you can see your oracle cards here. So for your oracle cards, we have, where's my little pointer pen? For your Wild Child oracle card, we got Rainbow. So I see you're probably a person that has a lot of personality, a lot to you. We have this right under the rainbow here. So you could be a member of the LGBTQ community. Maybe this is something you're hiding within yourself and it's been really exhausting to keep it down. Maybe you're hiding your feelings for somebody. Maybe you're just hiding your true you, your personality, who you are on the inside and want to be on the outside, but have a difficult time expressing. Maybe you're a Cancer and you're used to bottling things in, You have sync with the moon. Again, maybe you're Cancer, and I can't help but notice she's got all this wonderful rainbow within her body here. Again, that could just be how you feel on the inside, and you've always wanted people to see you for the real you, and perhaps that's what's happening. Maybe you're taking this leap and showing the world who you are. And then with sync with the moon, of course, maybe you need to pay more attention to these moon cycles. Maybe you wonder why once a month everything feels crazy. Why once a month everything has a weird, new, fresh feeling. And there's new moons happening. There's full moons happening. And right now this full moon maybe is pulling you to this reading, of course. Maybe this is your first tarot reading, which if it is, thank you so much. I love that you're here. But yeah, maybe you need to pay more attention to these moon cycles. Like I have said in the past, you need to learn when to manifest, right? It's not always the time to manifest, but perhaps it's always the time to plan. And so in between now in the next full moon, maybe you need to plan out what you're going to try to manifest. If you're trying to manifest a partnership, plan for it in this 21 days. And then by the next full moon, perhaps you will get that next solid footing, that next solid step towards that person of your dreams, you know? Maybe you need to learn that during the full moon, you just don't feel good to be around people and you're better off staying home. And that's okay too. Plan accordingly. Maybe you know that you and your friend or mom or partner have fights a lot during certain moon transits, right? So planned, oh, every so ever many days I'm busy so that I know we're not going to get in an argument on that day, right? It happens. Emotions are heightened, and just kind of like two cats or two dogs that are in a bad situation, they'll maybe lash out on each other when they were never the problem. It's otherworldly circumstances. It does happen. For your Moonology cards, you got your hard work is paying off, and you also got nothing will come of this situation. So these were from the same deck. I just have to make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, they were both from the Oracle deck, and they came out side by side. So perhaps you've been working on something with the Eight of Pentacles and it is coming to fruition, right? And then on a separate note, there is a situation you have been hoping will pan out and it's not going to, and you need to stop putting more eggs in that basket. You have to stop working towards that and wasting your time and energy. This, I don't know what it could be, honestly. This is going to have to be your own interpretation. But void of course moon. Perhaps there is just this situation that feels like you're throwing everything into nothing. It's like an empty black hole that just sucks everything in and doesn't give anything back. And you really want it to work. You really want your hard work to make something of it. But if this is another person or people and they're not giving back to you what you're giving in to the situation, then it is okay to give up on that. Your hard work, you will be able to see where things are actually working, even if they're not ready yet. Like with the Eight of Pentacles, maybe they're almost ready to pick, but not quite. You can see what things are actually working, and you can see if there's something that you continuously try to do. Perhaps it's hiding your feelings. Nothing will come of that except for hiding your feelings, except for being lonely, except for not being understood. So whatever that is for you, you need to change course. You need to stop watering a dead plant, is what I just heard. Stop watering a dead plant. Moving on. For your Moonology manifestation card, you have full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. So again, it could have something to do with the void of course moon here. Maybe there's something that you've been lying to yourself about with the moon. You've been keeping it hidden from yourself or from others, and it's time to be honest about the situation, okay? Maybe there's heaviness that you're really keeping in here with the Nine of Wands and the moon, and your advice is to lay down the wands, to heal yourself, water your plants that are actually growing still, and dispose of the dead plant, okay? If you play The Sims, dispose of dead plant. For your moon child card, we have trust. The universe has a plan for you. Are you stressing out about your purpose? Are you stressing out about your future? Are you stressing out about the person you want to be? Well, the universe has a plan for you. I'll even go so far as to say you're on the path you're supposed to be on and you're following the course you're supposed to. If anything, just take this advice here to cut the dead limbs, to weed the bad stuff away. For your chakra card, you have vanity. So maybe you worry too much about how you look. If you're honest with this situation here, you're worried about how you'll come across. You're worried about judgment, literally, but you want justice in the situation so badly, right? Who cares what you look like if you look like this crazy old man to this room of business dressed people? Like, to his point of view, they look weird. To their point of view, he looks weird. So at the end of the day, we're all weird to somebody, right? Somebody is gonna have a problem with what you say or how you feel or what you look like. Somebody's always gonna have an issue with something, okay? That's just apparently how people are. So you need to let go of the vanity, let go of what you look like or what you come off as by being genuine to you and speaking up for yourself and seeking justice and balance and equality. And for your angel answer here, we have recovery. So this goes hand in hand with your 9 of Wands. You need to rest, rejuvenate, recover. It's been a long battle. We can see that, okay? I validate your hard work and your pain and your past hurt, okay? We all have battle wounds that we're going to take with us everywhere, but you can't stop yourself from being triggered, right? But you can stop yourself from triggering yourself. If you're sitting there thinking about it all and hurting yourself over and over and over again, and it's not fixing the situation, you need to just find a way to move past it. Say, it hurt, it wasn't right, it's unfair, and I'm a new person today. Today's a new day, and I'm going to try again. And fuck that person in the past, right? Fuck them. It's about you now. It's about you in the upward hill battle here. It's the climb, They are still standing. They have one wand they're using as a cane, right? As a support, an fence that they've built with the rest of their problems. So whatever defensiveness you're standing in to hide the fact that you are still hurting or still in pain or whatever, right? You need to recover from it. You need to heal from it. You need to put down those wands. You need to put down the pain, the stress, the anxieties, the things that you cannot control that are out of your hands, right? Recover. Trust the universe. Get past your ego. Let these inner colors shine through, because your 2 of Cups, your perfect partnership, your union, you coming into union even with yourself is just around the corner. That's the blessing coming in for you this full moon, not next, this. So you have to be ready, okay? You have to be ready now. And maybe this person is who helps you heal from past judgment, heal from hidden painful emotions and secrets and past wounds. Maybe they're the one that helps you to water the garden, your beautiful pentacles in the last stages before you're able to harvest them and enjoy them. Okay? So, pile 1, this full moon and the next full moon, okay, brings a transformation for you with this moth here. Every moth, every butterfly, right? You were once a caterpillar. Not everyone likes those. Not everyone likes butterflies and moths either. Let's just be honest, like I said, everyone's going to have an issue with something. So you could be this caterpillar, right? You've always felt like, oh, I'm just a caterpillar. I'm nothing until I'm a moth. And you have friends along the way, but then you have people that are like feeding you these ideas that you're nothing until you're a moth. And then you become this beautiful moth and you're like, yes, I'll finally be understood and loved and people will like me. And there's still people that freaking have a problem with you, because with vanity, there's always going to be something to point a finger at. So trust your own path. When the teachers say eyes on your own work, pile 1. It doesn't matter where everyone else is in their life. It matters where you are and where you're going. So focus on you. The universe has a plan, okay? Cut the dead weight. The hard work that you've been consistent about, every day you wake up and you brush your teeth, and that's why you have teeth that are in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that are paying off for you. And you just have to continue forward. It's been wonderful reading for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and it resonated with you. I hope you subscribe so that you can meet me here for a future reading. Please comment and like so that this video gains a little bit more traction and more people can find these messages. Thank you again. I hope to see you in the future. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the selenite bead, then this is your reading. So, for your full moon reading, we're asking what cycle is completing this full moon, and you received the Tower card. So, I think the end to an awful situation is what you have to look forward to here. Maybe you have been dealing with an awful breakup, separation, ending of any kind, whether it's a job, a friendship, a project, maybe it's been an awful project you've been working on. It's finally over. We're closing out Mercury retrograde. Maybe you had a rough go of it. In the present day here, we've had, quite a lot going on. So it's been emotional. It's been rough. I have a spiritual girls of my county that I'm a part of, a group chat I'm a part of, and a lot of us are feeling it. It's just been intense. So if you are watching this in the present day, or wherever you are watching this, it has been intense. This reflects that. I see you. Okay. With the Tower card here as the completion, though, you see the reality of a situation. You see something or someone for what it is, for what they are. If they're, it seems as though this was toxic, this was problematic, this was unstable, it just was not good. Maybe these are old beliefs that you no longer hold, and the illusion has been broken, So this completing of the cycle is you see everything for what it is, and the toxicity is coming to an end. For the blessings coming in for you, you received King of Cups and the Empress. So for the King of Cups, right, this could literally be a wonderful, loving person, companion, lover coming in for you, to love you, to be passionate for you, to be there for you. Maybe they bring creativity to you. Maybe this is you getting all these feelings of creativity, of, you're full of love, you're full of compassion, you are perhaps this very in tune with your emotions person, and you're able to give your cup to somebody. Perhaps with the Empress card here, this is a partnership with the King of Cups and the Empress. Perhaps with the Empress card here, your intuition has returned. Your power, your divine feminine power is back for you. You're getting, maybe a better idea of the situation with the Tower, with the Empress. Maybe you see something for what it is now. I see spiritual blessings. I see, even abundance here, even though this isn't necessarily a pentacle card. The Empress to me is an earthy card, and the King of Cups is a king. He's got, wealth. He's got abundance of his own. He's abundant in emotion and compassion and creativity and love. Maybe you finally get this sense of comfort and security after a long storm of dealing with the Tower, right? And then when we ask, what do you need to work on? And you get the Eight of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the King of Wands. Maybe you need to work on your planning, your long-term planning, your long-term vision for yourself, for your life. The Three of Wands, he's looking out and he's planning, what is he going to do? You're looking at the big picture, like, these are the tools I'm working with. Maybe you're literally building a home, right? And you're like, okay, this is the land, this is what we can do with it. We could do option A, B, or C, with the Eight of Wands, maybe you need to make a decision faster. Maybe you need to move a little bit faster before you lose out on an opportunity, before someone gets bored, maybe. Stop waiting. Maybe you're somebody who is used to being indecisive and you go back and forth a lot, and now is the time to just make that decision and move forward. With the King of Wands, you're someone who needs to be a leader here. You need to make those executive decisions, perhaps. Maybe after this Tower card, it was that whole, you don't know better, but I know, and I'm going to make the decisions now. Maybe this is you finally taking the reins, and that's great. this is your advice. You need to do that. And between now and the next full moon, so 21 days, you're going to be able to plan what the next thing is going to be for you. Okay? If you're deciding what you're doing with your life, that is your decision, and you're going to say that. You're planning. This is, you're looking out on all that you have to decide on. And it looks like you're going to have to make a decision quick, whatever that is. Maybe this person's coming in with like an offer. Do you want to get married? And you're like, yes, I do, but this is what's going to go down. Only if XYZ, like lay it out, be honest, especially if you just recently had a fight or something. Like maybe that's what the shakeup is you speaking your mind, and now you have to lay it all out. Yes, I want to be with you and I want this partnership, but we are never going to do that again. Maybe so-and-so made a really bad deal and it feels like a really big bad thing in the moment, but because of this, we got closer because you learned how you can operate within conflict, which is better than the other person. And so now you're the boss, you're in charge. You've proven yourself, And then when we look at your oracle cards, we have opportunity with this. It looks like a mountain goat or an antelope. We have dream journal. Are you sleeping? So first of all, I guess I went too far or went past the opportunity a little bit fast here. Perhaps there is an opportunity. Okay. Maybe that is what you need to take. This Eight of Wands is telling you that's in your advice section, right? What do you need to work on? You need to work on making that decision quicker, acting quicker. You love this person, so you need to tell them. Why are you sitting here thinking about it for a month? Go tell them, and then with opportunity, you're going to let that opportunity pass you by. You know what I mean? Don't let things pass you by. Take your opportunities as you see them, because they don't keep happening. They happen when they happen, and you have to be ready. Just like a past pile I had, you need to be ready to receive. If you're not ready, you can't receive. If your arms are full of worries and burdens, you can't hold a gift. Drop it. Drop all the bad stuff so you can hold the good stuff. Maybe this tower is you finally getting over something so that you can have all this wonderful stuff. Are you sleeping? Dream journal. Maybe you're struggling with your sleep, and maybe you need to write that down. Tonight I can't sleep because this is on my mind. This is on my mind because And maybe the next night, if it's still on your mind and you can't sleep, write about it again. Write about it until you feel ridiculous. If you wouldn't write about it 5 times, why are you up all night about it 5 different nights? Okay? Adjustments are required. Maybe you're going about something in the wrong manner. Okay? With the Tower card, maybe you've been fighting, and then you finally realize, okay, fighting gets me nowhere. I need to use logic. Okay? Maybe logic gets you nowhere. Maybe you need to remove yourself from the situation. Okay? First quarter moon in Cancer. Push through any insecurity. Maybe you have trouble making decisions because you're insecure. Is this the right decision? Is that the right decision? Should I do this? Should I do that? Will they like me? Will they hate me? Push through the insecurity. Do what feels right. Do what you feel called to do. Curiosity, what sparks your interest. Do what sparks your interest. If you are nervous to start something new, it's okay. You still got to start, you still have to start at some point. Do it scared, people say, right? Do it scared. Be anxious, but do it anyway. And look back and go, damn, I really did that thing, With trickery, maybe there's somebody who did previously pull one over on you. With the Tower card, maybe it was recent. Maybe you've been going through a breakup for a long time now, okay? You felt like this Tower moment has been forever. Everywhere, every direction you turn, you see a new problem that had to do with that thing, right? And you're like, oh, they ruined this too, Oh, they spilt soda on my carpet and didn't tell me, and now there's a mold spot with bugs. Great. Okay. Another thing I have to worry about, Maybe they They signed you up for a bunch of subscriptions with your card, and every time you think you've canceled every single one, another one pops up. Oh, awesome. Now I have to cancel this too, you know. Maybe it has felt like lie after lie, trick after trick, and you're really struggling with getting past it. But this is the time when you can be the Empress using your discernment, push past this fear, you know. You're doing it scared, right? um, and you see people for who they are now as the Empress. You're not fooled anymore. As the King of Wands, you tell people, I'm not putting up with this anymore. If you meet someone new, you say, hi, you know, I'm so and so. I don't put up with bullshit anymore. Oh, okay, well, I only bullshit people, so I guess I'll move along, you know. We don't deal with that anymore. And then we have your angel card, don't stop. There is something you're working on or want to do, or you've always wanted to do, or perhaps there's a calling on your heart, a passion you have for something, and maybe it's dancing, maybe it's singing, maybe it's writing, okay? Maybe it's medicine, maybe you want to be a doctor, you know. Don't stop chasing your dream, follow your dream. You were put this desire was put on your heart for a reason, and by honoring that, you know, you're going to be successful. Don't stop making an effort towards that King of Wands self-assured leader that you have inside of you, okay? You probably are someone that maybe you've dealt with managers in the past in any capacity, and you've thought, man, I could do a better job than them, or they don't do jack shit around here, they're lazy, and if I were the manager, I would never do that. And maybe now is your chance to show the universe and yourself and whoever you're around that yes, you do a better job, you're the better leader, you're the best leader, maybe. And maybe this King of Cups, the Empress partnership, is just going to be, you know, that you moving into that King of Wands, that is what it takes to get you both to that beautiful point. You know, you have to make up your mind. Do you want to be with me or not? Well, yes, I do want to be with you, and this is what I want to create, and this is what we're going to do, right? Just make adjustments. Maybe you've always been agreeable. Maybe you've just always, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want, baby, it's okay. And now it's your time to go, you know what? I don't want that. I want this. And it's going to be okay. Push past the insecurity that people don't care or that your opinions don't matter. Don't be fooled by this ugly green dragon with a giant acorn. He's going to eat you. You're a squirrel, you know? Take the opportunities that are presented to you, because you're not always going to get that opportunity. Maybe this is the one break in the waves, or some snow is about to fall or something, right? And that's the one chance you have to leap across. So take the chance while you still have it. Make the decision while it's still yours to make, okay? So pile number 1, this full moon is asking you to take action. Get out of that toxic energy, be done with that past situation, and move into this leadership position, this leadership role. You have it in you, and it's fast approaching. And yeah, you need to take the opportunity before it's gone, okay? Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you subscribe, like, comment, and join me in the future for another reading. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Rainbow Moonstone, then this is your reading. So for your full moon reading, we asked what cycle is closing / completing itself. And you have the 8 of Lightning, or the 8 of Wands, the action card. And so this tells me maybe you have been in this constant waiting, and then everything happening all at once, and, you know, bursts of chaos, and feeling like you have to do everything all at once, or, you know, like when they say it rains, it pours. Maybe you've had a lot of pouring happen, maybe a lot of lightning strikes. You feel like you've just been zapped 8 times in a row, and it's finally over, like you're done being zapped, you know. When I asked what blessing was coming towards you, what blessings, we got the Tower card, upheaval, and the Nine of Swords or clouds, anxiety. So initially, I don't love to see these, I'll be honest, but I'm taking it to mean, um, obviously the Tower happens when it's necessary always. It removes what's not stable, it reveals what's not stable, what wasn't working, where there was faults in the structure. And specifically, since we're asking about a blessing, maybe the blessing is you finally quitting that job that you hate. And it's still a Tower moment because it's still, a breaking down, and maybe someone's going to be upset with you for quitting, but it's what you wanted to do. And it's a blessing because, it's over. Like, oh my God, I don't have a job now and I need to figure it out and I need to find a way to get money, but at least it's over. And then Nine of Clouds, anxiety. That anxiety maybe is finally coming to an end, you know? Um, Maybe it's just a lot. You've been kept up at night. You can't sleep. You've been stuck in your head over a situation or over a person, something. It's just been lots of anxiety. Maybe paranoia, even going so far as to be paranoid, right? Um, Maybe what you've been so scared of is that thing that frees you. There's this quote I love: on the other side of fear is freedom, right? So maybe facing your fears, finally saying, no, I don't, again, I don't like this job and I'm quitting. It's a lot of anxiety. You don't want to do it. You don't want to quit. Maybe you've been crying every time you think about, oh, I just want to quit. You cry because it's a job that pays well. Maybe it's the easiest job you've ever had, but you just absolutely hate the people you work with and you don't like talking about your job and you don't, you're not exactly proud of your job, but it pays enough for now. But, maybe that's part of the anxiety too. It doesn't pay as much as you want. It just pays enough to scrape by, and maybe you have, looking at this complacency card, maybe you have just become complacent in these things that you don't like. And so it's this Tower moment to finally admit to the people, to yourself, that I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm not going to, right? This isn't just the plain old Tower. We're not pulling this on any random personal reading. This is about a blessing coming towards you. So this crumbling of something is a blessing. You're going to be like, yes, I'm so glad. That anxiety that you've been feeling and building up and worried that would happen, you're like, oh, actually, I'm happy that that happened. I'm happy that I took that leap that I was scared to take, or took that step I was scared to take, or quit the job that I was scared to quit, or broke up with the person that I was scared to break up with, because on the other side of that fear was your freedom. When I asked for what advice and what you should work on from this full moon until the next full moon, we got the Two of Pentacles, we got the Seven of Cups, and we got the Seven of Pentacles. So I'm reading this as, you're indecisive. She's indecisive. She can't decide. You have a lot of choices. You keep on looking from left to right, but maybe you're truly struggling with, what do I choose? Maybe, again, if this is a job, you're like, I want to quit this job because it doesn't make me happy. I never wanted to do it. It gave me anxiety from the start, and yet I was just here, and now I have to break it down and quit, and it's been stressing you out how to do this. Maybe, I've known people that always tell their boss, like, I want to quit, I'm done doing this, and they're just always like, no, 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 here, have a raise, here, stay, and they're always finding a reason to get you to stay, but you don't want to, right? So maybe you've had this, like, I don't want to be here, but I have all these options to choose from and I don't know what to choose. I'm good at death metal music, and I'm good at styling people, and I'm a good jewelry maker and a great gardener, and I give great advice. Maybe I could be a therapist. Maybe, again, I could be like a florist. I'm good with plants. Maybe I'm good with money, and I need to go work at the bank. and you have all these strong suits of yours, but you haven't picked one, and you need to ask yourself what your priority here is. Maybe you need to stop dreaming up all these different things. Sometimes we're like, I want to be an actor or a singer. And then you start going, well, maybe I want to be a dancer, and maybe I want to be a rockette. That's a dancer, but maybe I want to be a famous chess player. Maybe, like all these things. You're coming up with all these things, and now you are the one making yourself even more indecisive, wondering what you can do. Well, the fact of the matter is, it appears you can do anything. You're very talented, you're able to do anything, but you need to decide what it is that you want. With the Seven of Pentacles, maybe you've been kind of impatient. When is my harvest going to be ready? When we're pairing it alongside with these two cards, maybe you're wondering, okay, I'm watering all these things, which one is going to be the one to be the award-winning, eggplant, whatever it is. And so maybe the answer within these cards is you're watering too many things. 7 drops, 7 pentacles, 2 hands, you can only juggle so many things. Another interpretation I like is that you don't always have to be holding a ball in each hand. You can always have a free hand, and in fact you should, right? So that you're able to do something else. But yeah, 7 drops, 7 pentacles. Maybe you have your hand in too many pots. Maybe you have too many grand ideas of what you could do with your life. Maybe you can see yourself in so many different future timelines that you have a difficult time choosing just one. And let me tell you, if you're not going to choose the timeline, the worst one's probably going to choose you. So make an effort to choose that award-winning pentacle, whichever talent it is that you have, whichever avenue that you have to be successful, that you see yourself being the most prosperous in. You need to choose that. You need to choose your priority, make up your mind, so you can actually achieve something here, okay? Don't be watering every seed if you can't even enjoy every plant, every pentacle here. For your oracle cards, we have Slumber. We have Trove. I see that you're exhausted, okay? You've probably been dealing with a lot. This 8 of Lightning as your what's coming to an end. It seems like you've been in a lot of action. Go, 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 go. You're needed everywhere, and you've been running nonstop, and maybe you've neglected yourself along the way, and you're tired. Maybe that's what this Tower moment is this final like breakdown of I can't do it anymore, and you didn't want to get to that point, but it's necessary. You've been just like stressed and anxious and not sleeping over everything that you have to do. Maybe you literally don't have time to sleep because of all the priorities, or all the tasks that need to be completed, and that's why you need to choose your priority. You can't do everything. You can't be everything, woman. You have to just be you, the person with 2 hands and 1 brain. You can't do it all. It's time to cut back. Like when you are gardening, typically you plant a couple of seeds and then you weed out the weak ones and you keep the strongest one. So look at the strongest suit in your armor here and choose that. Maybe you need to sleep and you need to rest and rethink it all and decide what's going to work, what's going to be best for you. What are you going to do with yourself? There might not be a wrong answer. You'll know what's the better answer, right? Just because one pays less than the other doesn't necessarily mean it was the wrong decision. But if the end goal is to be happy and abundant, maybe you want to pick, the category that, or I'm sorry, the thing that ticks off both categories here. With Trove, maybe you need to count your blessings. Maybe you need to realize what you actually have. Maybe you've been in a lack mentality and you've got all these beautiful things, these beautiful talents that you're not using, these beautiful gifts that you're not utilizing. when you think of a crow, they only give gifts to those who have already been kind to them, right? So if you've given them a cracker in the past, maybe they'll bring you something shiny. Um, Maybe you have to realize for yourself you wouldn't be so talented. You wouldn't have all these gifts. Um, you wouldn't be given monetary fulfillment if you didn't deserve it for something, right? So maybe you think, oh my God, why would someone like me have this amazing talent of yodeling? Like, I hate yodeling. I hate the outfits. I hate the people that like yodeling, like, whatever the problem is. But you have a gift for yodeling, you know? And at the end of the day, it's no skin off your nose. It's not difficult. People enjoy hearing you yodel. And it's like maybe you just need to say, you know what? This is a talent of mine. This is a gift that was given to me. I'm going to count this blessing and I'm going to, take advantage of the fact that I have it. For your self care card, you have pleasure. So maybe you have been neglecting your pastimes, the things that you like to do. Maybe you seriously need some alone time. That's okay. Um, Maybe you need to learn who you are and what you like and the things that your body likes. If you're trying to open yourself up to somebody, you can't do that unless you know what you're going to show them. So, yes, pleasure. Take a moment to have some pleasure. And whatever that might mean for you, it doesn't have to be, what this card depicts. It could just be doing something you like to do. Have faith in your dreams. Maybe you have dreams that you've given up on. Maybe there's something that you really, really, really want or used to really, really, really want, and you've decided that, you know, maybe that time has passed or you've missed the opportunity or, oh, it's not in my cards, whatever it is. This card's telling you to have faith in your dreams. Just again, like we were saying with the blessings, why would you be given these talents if you weren't deserving of them? You 100% are, so you should use them. Maybe that's one of your 7 of raindrop choices. Maybe it's one of your 7 of gems that you keep watering, but not, maybe you keep giving everything a drop of water, but one of these things deserves every single drop. Maybe it deserves the whole pour, you know? What is that thing for you? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it writing? Is it teaching? Are you really good at helping people? Do you have a talent for medicine? Do you have a talent for legal matters? Whatever it is. For new moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. Maybe there's something that you're good at and you need to direct other people on how to do it. Maybe you can teach. Some people are afraid of teaching because of that weird saying, those who don't teach do, or those who don't do teach, right? I'm sorry, but you're not a very good teacher if you can't do the thing. So it takes a talented person to be able to teach, you know? So if you're somebody that has been thinking like, well, I don't know, I guess I could, teach people how to dance. It's not something that I pursued professionally, and I feel like, I still want to dance, but, maybe teaching would make you happy and it would bring back that pleasure of dance perhaps, but you have this anxiety, this anxiety over being the teacher. You never wanted to be the teacher. Maybe for you, that is the tower moment to finally be the teacher instead of the dancer who gets to be in the recital. But on the other side of that tower moment of that anxiety that you've built up against this, right? There is, all these endless options. Oh my goodness. I can be the person that teaches the next great ballerina. You can be the next, the person that teaches the next best pianist, whatever it is. And you were always scared to step into that role, but by stepping into it, it's maybe finding your purpose, and that's where you figure out where you're going to pour all your all your water into that one pentacle. You have, for your Moon Witch card, Moonbeam. You are on the right path. So maybe you've had anxiety. Maybe that's part of the anxiety. I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do with my life. I'm wasting, my time, my energy, my life. But no, you're on the right path here. And perhaps this could be that move that you're wanting to make. Maybe when that Tower card, that Tower moment happens, you're thinking, oh my God, this is not supposed to happen. But then it'll quickly clear and you'll realize, oh, okay, it was supposed to happen. I'm on the right path. Maybe you've been complacent, and the only thing that's going to get you out of this complacency is the Tower card, is this upheaval, is maybe you finally putting your foot down and saying, enough is enough. I can't do it anymore. And then we have forgiveness here. So maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe that's part of what has you losing faith on your dreams, Maybe that's what has you so exhausted. You've been racking yourself with guilt. Maybe it's time to, forgive, move on, whatever it is, Maybe whatever happens here is something that you're going to need to forgive someone over. Look, I forgive you for stealing my boyfriend, No, I don't want to be friends anymore, but I forgive you and I move on, because holding a grudge isn't going to make me feel any better. Complacency, maybe you've been complacent. I keep using a job because this really could be a job for you, right? You got 2 pentacles here. Perhaps you've just been complacent in a job that you don't love, but because it's enough, because you've learned to shrink within the confines of the payment that you receive in the hours that you work and whatever it is, you've just become complacent, and it's time to shake things up. Maybe you have the control to bust down this unstable tower and say, look, I hold the power still. My dreams matter. I'm a leader. My pleasureful pastimes matter. It matters that I'm having fun. It matters that I feel good. It matters that I can rest. I see this new moon just revealing to you a truth about a situation and you finally being able to get out of it. And it might not feel great at first. It might feel uncomfortable. But since the Tower and the 9 of Clouds, the 9 of Swords is your blessings, this is going to be a blessing. And I even want to say that you realize it as it's happening. Like, this is crazy, but this is a good thing. This is crazy, but it's a good thing. That's what I'm hearing now. I was so scared about this, but I'm glad that it happened. And now I get to finally look at my beautiful drawing board full of ideas and pick what I want to focus on. And now it's about me, and I'm on the right path, even though things feel shaken up and crazy, even though it's been chaotic over here, So yeah, this is what I have for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought you some clarity. If you're having some anxiety about this full moon, this cycle completion, I invite you to not be anxious. Maybe, your self-care card is pleasure. Do things that make you happy. These are all, everything here is positive. The only thing I'm seeing indicating anything that is, less than positive is complacency, which tells me you're not going to get out of the situation unless somebody forces you out of it, maybe. You still have the power to say, okay, I'm done. I realize the error of this building infrastructure. I see where this isn't working. Maybe you already see where there's this disillusionment and you're ready to break free of it. And so that's your decision to make. You're choosing your priorities here. You're making your own decision about your own future, about your dreams. You're leading. And yeah, this is great. You're taking your life into your hands. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next one. Please like and comment and subscribe. And thank you again. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. If you chose this ruby fuchsite, then this is your reading. So, for your full moon reading, we asked what cycle is completing itself or closing out for you. And the card that came out was the 3 of Pentacles. So, this could be a time of, like apprenticeship, early stages of learning, getting yourself acquainted somewhere in a workplace, maybe. This could also be a talking stage of some kind. Maybe it's been kind of surface level, professional, maybe in a way it's been kind of like two rocks talking. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. What are you doing today? Oh, nothing much. And yourself? Oh, the regular things that I do. Maybe it's been kind of this like, we're not really getting to know each other. It's this stilted conversation. There's no warmth here. And then we ask what blessings are coming in, and we get the Lovers. So I could also see this moving from, like I said, like a talking stage to like a partnership. This could be you meshing really well into your new workplace, you finding your purpose, you feeling as though you found your calling in a certain job, since this is the Pentacles that we have first. And then we have the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. So this tells me after a really difficult time of carrying around those 10 wands, carrying around a bunch of burdens, struggling maybe, you are sailing away to safer waters. So calmer waters. So perhaps it has been a long trek getting to where you are. This could mean maybe you have been, bouncing around job to job trying to find this perfect place, and it's been difficult keeping your head up and staying motivated, but you're finally, in that perfect job for yourself. Maybe you have been trying to find the perfect partner and you've been talking to this person and it's been very surface level, like I said, and then you, after all this hard work of being polite and getting to know them, you realize, whoa, they're like this incredible person under the surface. I just needed to like put in a little bit of effort in getting to know them, and then they just opened up like a flower, getting to calmer waters. Maybe this has been a long time coming of you, being the bearer of all the weight in your relationship, at your job, in your family. Maybe you've always been the one to, carry the load. And now with the 6 of Cups, you're going into calmer waters. You feel more free. You're putting down that load. You're, in that lover's mentality, in the state of the Lovers, of union. Wherever Leo is in your chart right now, maybe Jupiter is expanding it in a really wonderful, beautiful way. And it's time for you to, be happy for once. Maybe it's finally your time to be happy. And then when we ask, what do you have to work on? And what general advice do we have from this full moon to the next full moon? We get 8 of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. So this tells me you need to stay consistent. You need to be patient. Continue watering those things that you've been working on, put in the effort. You've got that 10 of Wands, so maybe it's just been a lot of stress of, oh, when is this going to be over? And the blessing is now that heavy stress part is over, but you still have to continue to do the work. If this is a new relationship and you're like, yes, I finally got this new relationship, what you need to work on is continuing to nurture it. If you got that new job, you need to continue being that dependable worker that shows up every day and does what they're told and maybe brings new ideas to the table and does a better job than everybody else. With the Queen of Pentacles, maybe you still need to work on being that Queen of Pentacles who has everything she needs and doesn't need to look at what you have. Maybe you have this like, this mindset where it's like you're almost at that abundant mindset. I like to say, well, we're rich, so it's fine, you know. Instead of like we like to say, oh, I'm broke, I can't do that. Don't say you're broke, say you're rich, say you're abundant, say you have it all. And so maybe you have been um, kind of struggling with keeping that energy, but this is what you need to work on, being the Queen of Pentacles, being somebody who is always nurturing the things that they want to see um, come to fruition. You know, a really big way of how we can manifest this state of being is by just telling yourself, I am this person, I have these things, this is the life that I live. And then before you know it, that is the life that you live. Those are the things that you achieve. You start making those decisions that that person who has those things would make, right? That's how we achieve greatness. That's how we align ourselves with our higher selves, by doing what we think they would do. I always like to say, what would they have for breakfast? You know, would they have, a sugar donut, or would they have something healthy? Would they have, half an avocado and some tuna? Get your protein in, get your healthy fats, get your healthy carbs. You need everything right now to be the best, to be this successful Queen of Cups, to stay in this happy, healthy partnership, to get away from the madness and never return to it, right? So then we're going to go down to your oracle cards. The first card I pulled for you was this Wild Child card, Thorn. So it looks like there's an animal stuck in the thorns, and this person is perhaps helping them get out, or maybe they're stuck in there together. And I can't help but I think these are flowers. That's like a rose bush. But when I first pulled these two cards, it looked like this fruit was very similar to this on this plant here. And perhaps you've gotten yourself into a prickly situation. You don't like where you are. It hurts to move, it hurts to get out of this, but it hurts to stay here too. And so maybe it just has to hurt to get out, and then you get out and you don't have to go back. Some flowers are beautiful, but they're covered in thorns. And maybe in the past you have dealt with somebody who is beautiful but super sharp, and they hurt you, or you hurt yourself trying to get close to them, right? Maybe you're somebody who hides in thorns. Maybe this is you, right? You do it on purpose because you don't want somebody to get too close to you. And look at that, somebody has snuck their way in next to you, haven't they? And perhaps this is what maybe you're the person that's prickly, putting on this stone. I'm okay. How are you? Well, good. Nice to meet you. Moving on. Walk away, Maybe you're at this time where, you are the one poking people. You're the one creating this hazard, and you need to leave the rose bush. Maybe you know the way out, and you need to lead them out to safety, For self-care, you have make a vision board. Maybe you're not somebody who really knows what they want in the future. Maybe you don't know what your future looks like to you, and you need to plan it out because you have success here. You have abundance here. You're clearly going to be that Queen of Pentacles person, or you need to work on being them. But you have to visualize it. A way I like to make a vision board is using Pinterest. It's very easy because you can just look up everything and then save it to all to one board. So you can say, like, this is my vision board for 2026. And then, write all that down. I want to have this hair, and I want to wear clothes that look like this. And this is the kind of money I want to see in my account. And this is the things I want to achieve for myself, etc., etc. Plan it all out for yourself. Set goals. You have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So yeah, again, with this Three of Pentacles, maybe you've been dealing with this slow energy where you're just this kind of nobody stuck to the side. Let's say, like, you're sorry to any bussers. We need you. You're important. I just mean, in the grand scheme of things of the restaurant, maybe you're a busser that wants to be head chef, and you're at a restaurant that makes everybody work from the bottom up, right? And so you've been stressed out, man. I'm just a busser and I want to be in the kitchen and I cook amazingly and this is what they have me doing. Well, maybe it's coming to a close and you're finally getting to this dream job and the hard work is paying off and you're going into this better situation that you've been waiting for, you know? And you just have to continue to work hard once you get there so that you can achieve this and stay here. Speak your world into being. Whatever you've been wanting that hasn't been here, hasn't gotten to you yet, tell the universe, I want this. I want a raise. I want to work in the kitchen. I don't want to bust tables anymore. I want to be with the big boys. Be specific. My grandma, she liked to say that when she got her first car, she asked for specifically a red convertible, you know, Ford or whatever it was, you know, she asked specifically for it and she got it. And some people like to call it praying, some people like to call it manifesting, some people like to call it just like attracting the energy or whatever. I like to say you manifested it, right? So tell the universe what you want. I want to work in the kitchen of this restaurant. I want this amount of money per hour. You know, I want this kind of a team that I work with and this kind of manager at the restaurant, etc. And then reconsider. Maybe you're thinking of turning your back on an opportunity that's about to get better. So the end of a tough cycle approaches. Maybe you've been a busser at this restaurant for months and you went into it telling yourself, if I'm not, you know, in the kitchen by month 3, I'm out of there. And it's getting to month 3 and you're like, man, I just want to be done. I'm over it. My back hurts. My body hurts. My mind is spent. I can't do this anymore. Hold out, because it looks like you might be at a point where, what are you doing, Peach? Alfie wanted to say hi. Silly. Hi, baby. Hi, my baby. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Poodles. Anyway, yeah, maybe you're about to quit and it's just about to get good. Maybe you want to go for something and it seems a little too good to be true and you need to wait it out a second and realize that that's because it is, you know? And then we have perfection. Maybe you're a perfectionist, you know? Maybe you only want the best of the best and it's been a struggle for you to be this like underdog person that doesn't get as much recognition or as much pay or as much responsibility. But maybe this is something that is trying to teach you, look, you can't always be the best, you can't always be on top, and as well as it's not always your purpose to do those things. It's not a failure to not always be the best. It's not a failure to not always, you know, be on top. And nobody's perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. As you can see, there's a person inside of this person. So within this perfected version of you is the real you. So maybe reconsider showing the real you. And then for your Moon Witch card, you have Kali or Kali. Step into unknown. Do not be afraid. So yeah, reconsider. Maybe you've been thinking of turning something down even, and now you need to just trust that you have it in you to do great things, to achieve that Queen of Pentacles, you know? With the Lovers here and these two cards together, you have great things coming to you this moon cycle, you know? And what you're working on is just basically being successful is what it looks like to me. You go from the 3 of Pentacles at the beginning to the Queen of Pentacles at the end. How much better could it get, you know? And congratulations on sticking out a difficult cycle, because you're near the end and it's going to be worth it, you know? You just have to be very specific with the manifestations you want. You have to be consistent and patient with the things that you are nurturing and growing. And don't be afraid to try something new. If this is you that's been protecting yourself inside a thorny rose bush, maybe it's time to get out of there and to let people get to know you. You know, it is scary sometimes, but yeah, maybe there's an offer you've already rejected or somebody you've already rejected and you need to reconsider. Maybe this is your sign to hit them back up and say, hey, you know, maybe I shouldn't have spoken so fast before. Maybe we should go out. Or, you know, maybe I will take that job if it's still available, you know, and you find that, wow, that's exactly what I need to do, is just take that leap of faith, do it scared, you know, be specific with your manifestations and plan out exactly what you want with that mood board, and realize how maybe that thing you wrote off too quickly is actually the perfect puzzle piece for for that thing, for this to get here, to get to the Queen of Pentacles, to achieve that job, to get to that person, to finish this project, whatever it is for you. Yeah, this full moon and the next full moon cycle for you is just about being successful, getting away from the stress and feeling, you know, unrecognized in your work or in your efforts, or even the ending of the talking stage, the ending of this apprenticeship, feeling like you know some things but not all the things, and you can't do much in your position. You know, before you know it, you're going to be doing it on your own, maybe teaching people how to do it. People are going to be asking you, how did you become the Queen of Pentacles, you know? So yes, pile 4, this is what I had for you. I hope you found some clarity here. I hope you enjoy this next new moon and the following new moon after, full moon. I hope you enjoy this full moon and the following full moon. I hope you have a fun time getting to that successful Queen of Pentacles person that you are working towards becoming. And yeah, have fun creating your vision board. Again, use Pinterest if you haven't tried that yet. It really is helpful in helping you piece together a vision for what you want for yourself. Be very specific with your manifestations. Step into the unknown. You know, take a chance. I see the Lover's card. I see the Queen of Pentacles. You know, success and love and abundance and divine union. You know, this is a wonderful spread. So I hope you guys have a great day or evening wherever you are. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and comment down below what part resonated with you. And I hope to see you in the future reading. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.